What's up, y'all? This is ENA. We got time. I'm Alex, here to give y'all my NFL weekly predictions. Last week we did all right. I think I got 9 right or something like that. But all right, let's start off Thursday night. Redskins going to Vikings. This is gonna be a blowout, and I think this is probably gonna be Kirk Cousins' best game of the year. As you all know, he used to play for the Redskins, never once signed to a long-term deal. Some people say it was a good idea, some people don't. But regardless of the fact, that's what's going on. Kirk Cousins, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He got the leading rusher on this team. Peterson's questionable. Josh Norman's questionable. Vernon Davis is out. Redskins are pretty beat up. They aren't exactly one of the better football teams to go into this game on a short week and to go to Minnesota. So I think Kirk Cousins will definitely have his way with them, and I have the Vikings win this game pretty convincingly. Next up, starting Sunday morning, Giants at Lions. I have the Lions winning this one pretty convincingly. I like what I've been seeing from Matt Stafford and that offense. They've been really moving the ball. Daniel Jones still having a problem holding on to the football. That's become a very big problem as of late. Even though Kerryon Johnson is out, their starting running back, I feel as though they can get a good running game going by the committee, the guys they have from behind him. Giants defense hasn't played all that well throughout the course of the year, so I don't think that's going to be a big factor. I have the Lions win this game. As you know, I'm a Giants fan, but when I think we're going to lose, I'm just going to say we're going to lose. I hope they prove me wrong, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over them losing this game. Next up, we have Seahawks at Falcons. Falcons just lost Mohamed Sanu. Well, not lost him. They traded him to the Patriots. Seahawks, they're just coming off a pretty bad loss. I have the Seahawks winning this game. I think they get back on track to a abysmal Falcons team. They look to be in shambles. Haven't really had much success this year. You want to put on offense, defense, coaching, whatever the case may be. I'm expecting Russell Wilson and the Seahawks to get out fast against the Falcons and win this game pretty convincingly as well. Next up, we have the Eagles versus Bills. Now, this is going to be a hard one for me to pick because the Bills are at home, and I like what they're doing defensively. Offensively, they've got a couple good pieces out there. They have Cole Beasley, John Brown. They have Frank Gore, who's still beating for all the time. The Eagles, they got embarrassed by the Cowboys. That secondary looks like everybody thought it would look. Carson Wentz is having a hard time getting some real solid protection. So if I really, really have to pick, I'm going to go with the Bills, but I'm not going to be surprised if the Eagles find a way to win this game. Next up, we have the Chargers versus Bears. I have the Bears winning this game. The Chargers, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. They've lost a couple players. Melvin Gordon hasn't played exactly well this year. I know Eckler has really emerged, and since Melvin Gordon's been back, I don't think they found a real balance between the two, or more so, Melvin was not happy with the shared carries. I have the Bears winning this game at home. I know they got beat by the Saints, but towards the end of the game, it was garbage time. However, I like what I saw from the Bears, and I think with that defense, they'll bounce back this week, and I think they should win this game at home. Next, we have Bucks versus Titans. I'm going to be honest, I have the Titans winning this game, unless James Winston has a game like he has a couple times throughout the season where he really just impresses you and he shows what he could be and why he got drafted as high as he did. However, I do have the Titans winning this game. I think after last week, they feel really good about themselves, got them a nice, hard, tough win. So I have the Titans winning at home against the Bucks. Next up, we have the Colts versus Broncos. So Broncos are going there. Broncos just got embarrassed by Kansas City, and I don't think it'll get much better. I want to say they got to Joe Flacco 8 or 9 times. The Colts team as a whole, I think they're a really, really solid and complete team all across the board. Jacoby Brissett playing some really good football, got some good quality wins over Kansas City. So I think they feel really good about themselves and the direction of the team and how everything's going. I expect, Marlon Mack to get out there and do what he does. T.Y., Ebron had a really good game last week. Nice touchdown in the back of the end zone. So I think the Broncos are going to lose this game. Also, Emmanuel Sanders isn't there anymore. So that's going to hurt the offense as well. They still have Lindsey. They still have Sutton. But I think the veteran in the locker room is going, so that's going to hurt him a bit. And I have the Colts winning this game pretty convincingly. Next up, we have Cardinals at Saints. Now, there has been speculation this week that Drew Brees will play or it will be a game time decision. I really don't think it matters. And me personally, I think Drew Brees should sit this game out. I know the Cardinals have won 2 or 3 straight. They just coming off a good win against the Giants, but the Giants honestly aren't that good of a football team. Teddy Bridgewater's been playing. No matter if you like him, hate him, like or hate the Saints, he's playing a lot better than everybody assumed he would. Nobody thought he would be doing what he's doing. He's doing a great job of taking care of the football, running when he needs to, not getting hurt, making some really smart decisions with the football. And the offense really hasn't missed a beat since Drew Brees has been out. If I were coaching the Saints, I would tell Drew, taking 2 more weeks off. We're just playing Arizona. They're coming to us, which is a hard place to win at. Then after that, you have a bye week. So that's 2 more weeks of rest. He can rest that thumb. I don't really see the point in him coming back this early. They have full control over the division. No Carolina sneaking up on them and whatnot. But I really don't think this is a game where Drew needs to come back. And like I said, I have the Saints winning this game pretty convincingly. Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Brees. So that's what I got. Next up, Jets at Jags. Jets just got embarrassed by the Patriots, which is, it's not that big a deal. The Patriots are the Patriots. They do have the best defense in football as of right now. They have 3 guys in the top 10 for interceptions for the year so far. So just keep that in mind. Out of all the teams in the league, they have 3 players on that team who are on the top for interceptions. So they can really, really get the ball. I know Sam Darnold's catching a lot of flack over the whole I'm seeing ghost out there thing. I don't know what to say about that. Probably shouldn't have been mic'd up, but it is what it is. Thank Gardner Minshew, he gets back on track. I think he can win this game. He's playing at home, kind of get some confidence going against this Jets team who's kind of shooken up right now. They just laid a big goose egg. Like I said, I don't think the Jets can win this game. I think Gardner Minshew, Fournette, D.D. Westbrook, charting them, I think they get this done and get a good quality win at home. Next up, we have Panthers at 49ers. Now, the 49ers are also 6-0, the only other undefeated team besides New England. They've done a really good job of drafting. I want to say from the defensive side of the ball, they have 7 people starting second round and up. I know that D-line is all first rounders, so they do a really good job of getting after the quarterback, getting some pressure. Panthers backup has played really well, but I think it's going to stop here. I think the 49ers defense, playing at home, being on the roll that they are, I think it's going to be a wee bit too much for Allen to overcome. They also just acquired Emmanuel Sanders, so he's definitely going to help in the passing game. George Kittle, who's doing a phenomenal job at the tight end. The two-headed monster they have at running back. I think they're a really sound team. The only question is really on Jimmy G, but when you have a rushing attack like they do, I mean, he really don't have to do too much. I have the 49ers winning this game, but I don't think it'll be very easy. I think it'll be a very close game. I'm thinking more of like a walk-off field goal, and that'll be the end of that. We have Browns at Pats next. I'm not gonna be biased here, and please don't think I am when I say this. Mayfield's playing terrible. Let's just get that out of the way. He's thrown more picks than interceptions this year. He's leading the league in interceptions since he's gotten the league last year. And that offensive line is not holding up whatsoever. When we look around him and all the pieces he has with Nick Chubb, Jarvis, Odell, whenever Njoku comes back, Kareem Hunt is going to be back soon too. When you look at all of that, you're like, man, they should be good, but the offensive line isn't good. That, in my opinion, they're just really not a very disciplined football team, and that's the best thing about the Patriots. Everybody does exactly what they have to do and when they have to do it. The Patriots just got Mohamed Sanu, so that's going to definitely help, especially with Josh Gordon going to IR. That's definitely going to help out that passing attack. But honestly, I don't see any way Baker Mayfield and company winning this game. I'm having the Patriots winning this game solid 35-17, and I'm being pretty modest here. I think that defense alone is going to have one, maybe two scores, possibly. So I have the Patriots winning that game. Next up, we have Raiders versus Texans. Texans are playing some pretty good football as of late, playing really good. The Raiders just lost to Aaron Rodgers and company. He actually has best game of the year so far. The Raiders look kind of iffy here. Tyrell Williams, which I think is their best receiver, he wasn't able to suit up last week. I think he's going to be back this week, so that should definitely help. But the Raiders defense just doesn't look good. They're not really getting after the quarterback. They're not causing turnovers. And I think with the weapons that the Texans have, with Steals and D-Hop, I think it's going to be too much. And the quarterback can do with his feet. I have the Texans winning this game pretty convincingly. Probably be a two-score game. Sunday night, now this would have been game of the week for me. But, you know, as we all know, Mahomes is out. Packers versus Chiefs, and that's also why I have the Packers winning this game. Even with all that firepower that the Chiefs have, Matt Moore is a backup for a reason. He pulled it off last week because that Kansas City defense, I guess, just got tired of everybody calling them garbage, basically. And they really, really got after Flacco. If Mahomes was in this game, I would have a slight edge to the Chiefs. But the fact that the Packers are coming off a great win against a great win against, you know, a not so good team, I feel like everybody's in high spirits, and they should win this game pretty convincingly against a kind of injured Chiefs team. I have this game somewhere around 32-13, maybe, something like that. And last but not least, we have Dolphins versus Steelers. Dolphins are a terrible football team. Terrible. They're definitely tanking, whether they want to admit it or not. I don't know if they're tanking for Tua or hurting for Hurts, but regardless of the fact, I believe they're in full tank mode. The Steelers are starting to get a little rhythm going a little bit. James Conner starting to get better. Just as a whole, I think that they're starting to get better without Big Ben, and I have the Steelers winning this game pretty convincingly. The Dolphins don't really have an identity this year. Whether you want to say coaching, play calling, players, whatever the case is, I have the Steelers winning this game. Now, I don't even think this is much of a Monday night game or a game that should be nationally televised. No offense to any of the players, anything, but this really isn't a good football club, no matter who you want to put the blame on. Steelers are trying to just stay afloat. I don't think they have any playoff aspirations or will make the playoffs, but I think they're just trying to be respectful and always go out there and compete. So I have the Steelers winning that game, especially at home. I'm going to say they're going to light it up. I give about 24-7, and that's the tail of the tape. I want to appreciate everybody out there. Go subscribe, comment, let me know what y'all think of the video. Y'all go out, comment, and give me y'all predictions for y'all a chance to win that money each week. We giving it away. Peace.